Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Deer Corner. It's about 1:30 this afternoon. We've been having showers on and off all day, well, all night too. But one of the things that we are having to do today is reseeding some of our food plots. We having so much rain that a lot of our seed is actually rotting in the ground. It's not sprouting. So we're having to come out here a couple weeks before deer season to do some reseeding. But my glasses are starting to fog up. But what I wanted to bring to you today, several hunters, well, hikers too, backpackers, trail walkers, whatever you want to call them, up in here, they end up getting lost for a couple days. Last year, I think we had a hunter up here that got lost overnight. And that's one thing I'm wanting to bring up and hopefully be able to show you how you can tell south without a compass by just using nature. Now, we know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And we know that in this area, the sun does not come directly overhead. It actually runs in a slight angle from east to west. And Mother Nature has a way of showing which way is south. And you can pretty well, if you have a compass, and by looking at it, you can pretty well look at your compass and look at what I'm going to show you, how close you can tell which direction's south. 2, before you get out in the woods, hiking, backpacking, hunting, we need to actually look at a map, actually know where you are, where the highway is, where the rivers are, because up in here on this property, I can go down in that draw down in there for several thousand yards and won't get a signal on my phone, so GPS here don't work. So I'm hoping to show you a technique that works, and I've been using it for years. And the funny thing about it, the whole thing, I could be walking these woods here that I've been on for 20 years or more, and I could be looking down at the ground walking along and finally look up, and basically I'm lost. I have to get my bearing. I lose my bearing by not looking around and just staring down at the ground walking along. So I'm here, and I've actually been turned around several times on my own property. So I'm just going to show you a way to get your bearings of south, and then you can go from there just by using Mother Nature. So come along with me, and I'll give you a few techniques on this, and hope to shed some light on let's don't get lost. All right, what I like to do is pick some of the largest trees in the area. Let's look at this white oak right here. That's an old white oak. Now, if you look up the tree, straight up the tree, and you'll see, and look at the limbs on this side of the tree, and look at the limbs on this side of the tree. You'll notice they're heavier branched on this side. So by looking at that and looking at the branches, that way south. Because a tree in nature will grow and its limbs and branches will get as much sunlight as it can. It doesn't get as much on this side facing north, but it will on this side. So that way is south, just by looking at the branches. And I'll show you a few more right here real close. Here's another white oak. Back up. If you look up there, you'll see it's heavier on this side. More branches. That way south. If you look on the north end, up here, you see no branches at all. So that way is south. Look at a few more. Like that. You can look up that tree and tell that way south. Just by the growth of the tree. But a few of these things people need to know, need to learn before they get in the woods. Here's one right here, what I'm going to example. If you look up this red oak and look at the top, you'll notice all your heavy branches are pointing that direction. There are no branches pointing that direction. That way south. Therefore, why do they point south? Is the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, and it will get as much sunlight all day long by it running its own branches to the south as the sun travels over. We'll look at a few more, and it's just something to keep in mind if you end up getting lost. You don't need a compass. You can look at Mother Nature. It'll tell you. Here's a white oak right here. I'll show you. Same thing. If you look at the top, it's going that way. Your heavy wood. Now on this side here, the north side, it's not growing. I mean, it's got branches, but they're small. Your heavy wood's on this side, which is pointing south. It catches as much sunlight as it can. So you can walk around and just try it. Take your compass with you. I'm going to head down more towards the bottom. In the bottom where the sunlight is harder for all trees to get, and show you the difference. All right. I'm getting close down here in the bottom. I'll show you this white oak. And if you notice, the heavy wood's on this side. That way south, that way's north. And if you look at all the trees around it, the heavy wood is facing the same direction, south. Okay, just wanted to show you. Let me look at a good pine tree for you pine tree hunters, and I'll show you that one. All right, here's a pine, yellow pine. Now if you look at the top, you'll be able to tell the heavy wood's on the back side. This side here, the limbs are small and dying. That side is south, this side is north. Just by looking at the trees. you can tell which way south and north. Come back down in here. You'll notice the heavy wood's on the back side, lighter wood on this side, that way south, this way's north. You really don't need a compass to tell which direction you got to go. So it does work. You can take a compass and check it yourself. Maybe I shed a little light on how to tell your direction without a compass, just by using Mother Nature. And when you're out in the woods, you need to be safe. Wear orange. It's easier for you to be seen if you're lost. Every year up here, someone's lost. This summer, I think we had 3 hikers lost. One was lost for several days. Every year, a hunter is lost, gets lost. But if you know and learn what you're doing before you get in the woods and know your territory, you can find your way out. And like I showed you, just with Mother Nature. And I did not go last year for the search. My age, I can't climb these hills anymore. But every year, someone gets lost up here during hunting season. So I'm glad you're with me. Go ahead and subscribe. Check out another video. And just be safe when you're out there. It's hunting season. Wear your orange. And have a good hunt. That's what it's about, having a good hunt. And I hope to see you soon.